You say he didn't tip too well.
No, he did.
All those millions, and you give this guy $3.
He lost $1 million betting with picks. So I wiped the debt off by having him come up there.
I think I still owe you. You still have that index card. Hey, Doggy, I'm surprised you're doing this appearance. We're not paying you $10,000.
Funny. I had to do first take today. So
I know.
I'll give Sal a couple of minutes, Mr. Tierney.
You're getting a little loose on first take. You're taking shots at Stephen A. You're taking shots at the Team USA.
I did.
Do you have any friends on first take?
$2.4 million with those shots with the freaking USA basket. Did we care about the fact they beat us?
I don't care.
Oh,
I
my
don't care.
God.
BT, I don't know if you've seen this. Doggy also was in the news recently.
For?
Oh, the whole thing with Manning about the presidency?
Billy Beane?
Yeah. A little.
No, Billy Beane, I screwed up that.
No, that I wasn't even going to bring that up, but
I did screw that up. You know what happened? I didn't see it in the print.
Yeah.
I just saw it in the thing, so I got the confusing with the spelling. That's my fault, though. I should have confirmed.
You're transcending not just ESPN First Take and all that stuff. A little politics you're crossing.
Which I didn't
What's
want.
going on?
Where is Jimmy Traynor, who got me in trouble over there?
What happened with the politics?
I did say that on the SiriusXM too.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't the first time I had said it, but once Jimmy throws it out to everybody gets it. I just wanted a little civility when Biden stepped aside from Mr. Trump.
Yeah, I don't blame you. Civility's a good thing.
Did I have to hear he's the worst president of all time? He should have left a long time ago. Can you let the guy have a half a day where he can walk out with his dignity?
Well, they're still saying that
They did not kill Nixon when he got impeached in 1974. They didn't kill him. When Lyndon Johnson in '68, when he had that televised address last day in March, Nixon, who ran against it, did not say, "Thank God, get him out of there." I'd like to have a little civility. And that's what my point was. It wasn't a political statement.
I don't disagree with that.
I want to have the guy be a little presidential on both sides.
Amen.
On both sides.
That
was my basic point.
I like that.
JB blew up with the Jimmy Traynor.
And by the way, they're still saying Carter was the worst president, so he's still getting hit all these years later.
Can we leave Jimmy? Can we let him be in a hospice?
Let him just relax, will
he's
you?
95. He's 100 years old.
Doggy, we talked about this yesterday, and I actually texted your former partner. We were talking about the greatness of Judge. We did not see Mantle play. We didn't see Mays play. Where does Judge greatness rank amongst the all-time
Well, he's
greats?
got to do it a little longer. You know, Mantle did it for a good 12, 14 years. He won all his MVPs. Mays did it for, basically from 51 to 68. Judge has done it from 2017. So we got to see it a little longer. And he's a big guy and he's older, so But Judge, first off, he is the home run king. The idea that 62 home runs, he's the American League champion.
That's right.
That's a joke. Because Bonds' home run should not count.
Attaboy. He's right.
Let's start there first. Number two, he's not going to get to 755. Aaron's the career thing, not Bonds' is 762.
There you go.
But he's not going to do that. That's 455 home runs. Was he 31, 32 years of age?
32.
So it's a little too old. But Judge, he's on his way to the Hall of Fame. You love the way he can play his defense. Now he has help with Soto, but he's got nobody hitting behind him. Listen, he's an all-timer. He's a good guy. He's a great Yankee captain. Do I think he's going to be in the Mantle, Garrick,
Mays,
DiMaggio, the Yankees?
Oh, gotcha.
Ruth. I don't know if he's going to get that high. I don't know if he's going to play enough.
What about Jeter if he wins? What if Judge wins?
Yeah, because he hits the homers.
Yeah.
He hits the homers. The other thing about the Yankees, it's going to be very interesting to see what they do with Soto. Because Judge is making whatever he's making, and Soto's represented by Boris, who's going to want $600 million. And if you're Steinbrenner, can you pay him that much more than you pay Judge? Maybe he'd do it average salary, and then he'd spread out the last years. The Yankees can't lose him, but it is a little tricky with Judge being your guy at $360 million.
Yeah.
And Soto's going to want Ohtani money.
But
so it's tricky.
I hear you, Chris, and I said that to Sal yesterday as well. By the way, Mando is with us on the show, BT and Sal on the Fans. Great treat having you on, man.
I love to do it.
You've known him forever.
Sal is Twitter. We love Sal. You know that. Hasn't changed.
He hasn't changed.
Falcons will stink again, bro.
No. 2-0 now. Pass rusher, Doggy.
That'd be better. That'd be better.
I've been a big fan for a long time. I don't know if you know
that.
I know that.
Been. I know.
How do you know that? I never told you.
Yes, I
everybody's
did.
A huge fan?
Imitations, and I see the great Dove Kramer over there.
Dove is the best. So, but I look at the old timers, right? And I look at, and growing up, the first thing that the first name I heard was Babe Ruth. My dad, an old Brooklyn Dodgers fan, born in '43, still alive, still healthy.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Yeah, didn't see
God.
Ruth, but I mean, he was, he saw
he saw it pretty much everybody else,
yes,
right?
He did.
And from the day that I can really recall having somewhat of a conversation, I always heard Willie Mays the best player that my dad ever saw, and that was good enough for me. So But what I look at somebody like Judge or even Griffey back in the day or Trout when he was still healthy, his first 5-6 years of his career, there is nobody on this planet, with all due respect, that can tell me that Willie Mays looked better than those guys. Statistical accumulation, there's no way Willie Mays was jumping over fences like Griffey did or hitting 500-foot bombs like Aaron Judge. Like, let's at least be fair about that.
Fair, but Willie did everything great. He was a great base runner. He was a great fielder. He had the great catch in the 54 World Series with the great throw.
Vic Wertz.
He did hit 660 homers.
Yeah, didn't hit in the postseason though.
He did not. We only had a couple chances.
I know, but still.
You know, he had the 62 World. He had the 62 series against the Yankees. He had the 54 series against. He did not
73 with the Mets against the A's.
Yeah, but that was.
No,
he
I know.
was 42 years old.
I got you.
You got to give him a break. He should have quit before then.
Yes.
But listen. My father used to tell me DiMaggio.
Wow.
And DiMaggio's a better hitter than Mays, because DiMaggio's a 325 lifetime hitter, plus he hit in 56 straight games. Mm-hmm. So he's a better hitter than Mays. And he hit at Yankee Stadium. He hit all those home runs, and it was in left field when it was 445 feet.
Yeah.
So you got to keep that in mind, too. But pound for pound, Mays is in the discussion as the greatest player of all time. And he did it for a good 15 years. He won the 2 MVPs. I'm not sure if I'm going to put Judge. And Trout's fallen off.
Yeah.
Griffey went to Cincinnati. The last 3 years were not that great. Mm-hmm. So I still think, when you're talking about all-time greats, forget Ruth's the best because he pitched. So you have to remember, I know you're going to tell me that he played before 47, but if you're going to judge it that way, then I can't count anybody before 47. And so I don't want to do that. So if I include everybody, I still think Ruth's the all-timer, but Mays pound for pound.
Speaking of all-time greats, did you see who threw out the first pitch yesterday at Citi Field?
Who did?
Are you familiar with the Hawk Tour girl?
Do you know about this?
No, I don't. What happened?
How do you not know about
I missed this.
Girl?
What happened?
I can't.
What do you mean, no, you can't. Now you have to tell them who Hawk Tour is.
There was a young lady who went viral for something that...
Would she take her clothes off or something?
No. Basically describe, there's kids in front, so I want to keep it clean. Basically describing an act that adults might do.
Okay.
And this was like she had her 15 minutes of fame and it blew up. This was months ago. Yesterday, the Mets thought it was a good idea to have her throw out the first pitch.
Oh, my God.
What a joke, Chris.
I'm surprised.
You can't do that.
I'm surprised you weren't all over that.
I wasn't. I should have been on. I was doing a TV commercial yesterday. I was busy all day and I missed it.
Ooh, commercial.
ESPN Bet app.
Okay,
oh,
that's an easy
one.
What
are we getting?
Look at me breaking down betting things.
Well, you like to bet.
You love the Jets over this year, don't you?
Oh, I love the Jets over.
Give me some, man.
How much we got?
Let's go, Jets, baby.
I told Dan Patrick.
How much?
10 dimes, Sid. That's what I said. Sal, the sort of bets that you used to make. You and Giannotti. Giannotti's another one.
Yeah, he owes you still.
Hey, here's a guy that's making millions and he doesn't pay me. Boomer, where are you? Help me out for crying out loud.
Doggy, we don't pay like we used to. I mean,
I know about millions.
Yeah. No, that's true.
That's you.
You two have done a hell of a job together.
Thanks,
and by the way, Dog, one of the advice I called him, he's like, what you need to do, listen, it's Brandon's show. Let Brandon.
I did say that.
Yeah.
You were here first. Make sure you tread lightly.
And I was like,
Sal, he's got to come in like a bullet.
Yeah, exactly. I go, yeah, Dog. In one ear, out the other. I'm here now, baby. This is my show. No, but Doggy, we used to make those family bets, and I had no money. And I'm like, I'll put like $100. Yeah, minimum $250. You kept that price going up and up and up.
I did contribute to their delinquency.
I've heard about this. I got a question for you.
I did heard of that.
So the gummies with the Mad Dog has become an interesting
that's a big one.
thing. Okay, so to me now, everybody knows you. So, but if I just met you now and you weren't like Chris Russo, the famous broadcaster, I might think you're on a gummy now. When you take a gummy...
I mellow out.
So it's the exact opposite.
Absolutely. I'm not going on the radio with those things.
No, I know you're not working
because I'll
that
be
way.
nuts.
Can you play tennis that way?
No.
Can you play golf that way?
No.
Okay, so you're not... Okay, got it.
I'll tell you what I did do. I go to Rapid City to play golf with my fat Rob, Chiron, who used to be the priest in the Vatican, used to watch his other side.
Used to be the priest.
He's now living in Rapid City. So I went out to Rapid City. I've been there 3 years in a row for a member guest. It's a 3-day tournament.
Oh, nice.
So I went out there this year, and I played terribly out there. So this year, before the 27 holes and the 18 holes on Friday and Saturday, on Thursday, I was toast on Thursday night. I shouldn't say I got little kids here.
Nah, they don't know. So
but I was toast.
Can you function in a public?
I was at night. Nobody saw me, so I was okay.
Oh, boy.
But the next day I played great, and Saturday I played great.
How many did you take? 2?
I was vaping.
What? You're vaping now? What the hell's happened?
What has happened to you?
I'm 65 years old. My wife will kill me.
Do you like? I may as well ask. Do you like sativa? Do you like indigo? Like what?
Whatever they give me,
Oh,
I'll take.
gee, this guy's crazy. I love it.
On the heels.
Anyway, I played well that weekend. That made me feel good.
I got to vape with him.
On the heels of that, you have been able to keep that same passion and energy throughout all these years later. Do you think that the First Take stuff has helped reinvigorate
Oh,
you?
absolutely. Yes.
Giving you
yes. What do you think? I'm silly?
Well, I mean,
Absolutely.
you're so passionate when you do the radio stuff.
Second Renaissance. See, Stephen A. is the reason why people care. I mean, I'm not saying they don't care on Sirius, but it's a little different. It gives you power on First. See, what you say on First Take provides a forum where everybody catches on to it. What you and I say on the radio, you're dealing with your selective audience.
I hear you.
On First Take, you get in that ESPN wheel where they send it out in clips, they send it here, they send it there. And so you become part of the furniture, and everybody gets a little piece of it.
You still love doing it?
Yeah, I love doing it. Yeah, it's fun. And I mean, the Madabouts, I do those nutty Madabouts, so if I do a couple good ones, people, like I killed the USA basketball team.
Yeah, I know.
I got 2.5 million views, that damn thing.
You're getting a little lippy with Molly, though. You got to tap the brakes to tread lightly with Molly. I think
Molly and I are good friends.
People are getting on you for that, though. You're getting a little loud with the women.
Oh, really? I did say that.
Yeah, right.
That's another thing.
You ripped that sportscaster.
You can't. Oh, I did.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Got mad. People got mad.
Tennis
Renee
announcer?
Stubbs.
Yeah.
Renee Stubbs who killed that Nadal match with Djokovic.
Easy, big fella.
I don't want to go there again. I did that once before. You are hot stuff, Sal. You follow me more than I think.
I loved you. What do you mean? I grew up listening to you and Mike.
I know that.
I was a crack committee member. I used to call.
And I saw Mike's kid here today, Jack, who's a tight end at Hamilton.
Yes.
Hamilton, yeah.
He's a good football player.
You know what he is? Big Falcon fan.
Oh, he's a Falcons
Yes, Jack's
fan?
got to come say hello. Jack somehow is a Falcons fan. You believe that?
Now, Chris.
I like Penix's picks, by the way. I thought that was a good
Thank you,
pick.
yeah.
Do you do?
I did like that.
Okay.
He's going to be a good player.
Yep.
I know he had a bad first game, but he's going to be a good player.
Um,
but anyway, the First Take thing had a lot to do with this renaissance.
So this guy, for those, many of you know, because we talk about it, me and Sal on the show here, Sal was with you guys behind the scenes.
When Doggy left us, yes.
Yeah,
I left.
But I'm saying, did you think...
You and Mike with the overrun. Sorry, BT.
That's
with
okay.
Shaq and the Suns.
Oh,
It
is
was
that
a
the...
little...
Mike
that's a
was
big
mad
fight? Oh, the Suns.
because I convinced him to take the Suns, and they didn't get to over 50. I think it was 50. Whatever, maybe higher.
He got mad again?
Oh, well, but he lost.
Well, how much?
Plenty.
that was one of the big... Yeah.
One thing about bets, Mike does not like to lose those bets.
Who does?
$20, $100, $50, whatever it is. And it wasn't that.
I hear you.
That bothered Mike. That's a good point. Only he would remember the Suns over.
Oh, he knows everything.
I was there. I lived it.
Oh, my God. That was a bad play, and that was on me. Mike hated the pick.
I don't want to...
He hated Phoenix. He didn't like D'Antoni.
I don't think he
They
forgave
brought
you
in
for that.
Shaq, and he all got tipped off. And then Mike had to bring in the cash. I had to collect for Mike. Oh, that bothered him. That was a bad
Sorry,
play.
BT.
I don't
Why
want
would you bring that up?
Well, I don't want to embarrass Sal, but he reveres you. I mean, it's a great thing. So it's not talking about
I didn't
school.
realize he loved me that
Oh
much.
my God, he loves you. So, but when you saw a young Sal, did you think?
Yes, he always
he's
had
got
personality.
that personality.
Always thought he had a
that's
chance.
transferable.
He always had a chance.
Yeah.
Now he's riding on your coattails right now.
And now the Chernoff's he's got a real chance.
Oh,
right?
and now Chernoff, that's true. That was his guy, right? Chernoff?
No, the
Chernoff
opposite. I'm
didn't
saying
like him.
once Chernoff left, he had a
Oh,
chance.
Chernoff wasn't a big fan.
Well,
Well, I mean, I love Chernoff. I'm kidding, but I don't know if he was a huge fan. No, he
Things were different
fired
back
him. He
then,
wasn't
yeah.
a big fan.
Are you doing the 4 hours, 10 to 2?
10 to 2.
5 days a week?
Yes, sir.
That's a long haul. 5
It is.
hours, 20 hours a week.
That is.
it used to be 10 to 1 with a lot more.
So they gave you the extra hour with more money? Less
Extra
money?
hour, yes. I'm just saying, things have changed.
You got to get an aid. Do you have an agent, Sal?
Hey, listen,
Can you help me? How's Sandy doing?
not every negotiation is the same.
I'm not sure if
Stop
Sandy-
lumping us all together here, buddy.
Yeah, I'm sure he's got a better contract.
Oh,
than
no,
you.
I
guess
don't
what?
want to start
You know,
saying that.
Mike used to burn me all the time 40 years ago because he had his contract in there that said nobody could be paid higher than Mike.
Oh, my God.
That's because Mike was a
Really?
brilliant negotiator, and I had and I wasn't as good then, and Mike did a good job.
Thank you for the heads up.
That was 1988.
40 years ago he put that in? See, but
36 years
okay,
ago.
something like that. But usually you put that in when you're a superstar. He
No,
wasn't
Mike.
a superstar
Well, Mike had
yet.
the Brent. experience.
Oh, I
in the
got you.
CBS.
That's for the college TV.
So they
CBS,
gave you an extra hour and didn't pay you more money?
Well, no, it's been 10 to 2, I think, for a while now.
Oh, it has.
Yeah.
Okay.
After I think Mike left, they made it 2 to 6.
They made it 2 to 6 after
Because
Mike
Mike would go 1 to 6:30.
and they cut the hour and a half off.
We could keep you here all day, so I'm bouncing around, though. Do you think the Knicks can win the championship?
No,
this year?
not with the Celtics. They're too young. Knicks can easily get to a conference final. They would have done it last year.
Ooh.
They would have done it last year if they didn't get all those injuries. They
Yeah.
would have beat Indiana in the 7th
100%.
game. They were so banged up before, Hart out and OG out and everything else. To beat the Celtics, who are going to get better now because they've got over the hump. And so they know what it takes. And with Brown and White and Tatum, who's going to be very annoyed and very motivated to prove that he should have played on an Olympic team.
That was ridiculous.
So he is going to be, and Porzingis will be healthier. That Celtic team, you got to figure the Knicks will lose to the Celtics at the end of the day. Brunson's great. And that was a good move, getting obviously Bridges.
Yep.
But Boston's still the best team.
Do you think Alonso's with the Mets next year?
No, I don't.
Me neither.
Would you bring him back?
I think they're going to make a run at Soto.
So do I.
I think they're going to make a run at Soto. I think he'd do that. Now, they may not because, remember, 2 owners in the same city.
This is
They're
different,
friends.
though, dog.
So,
They
but
need
with
him.
Aaron
But
Judge,
they
they didn't go after Judge.
That was weak,
by the
might
way.
mellow out, but Soto and, remember, Boris and our little pal there, Steve Cohen, have a good relationship. And Boris is going to want $600 million, and he won't be intimidated. I could see him making a run there, but I don't know about Alonso.
And do you think the Yankees will... the Yankees used to, which is why the crack committee hating the Yankees, they used to pay way more than everybody else and get all the best players.
I think they'd be careful.
Well, because they didn't even have the highest offer for Judge. Now, he came back, obviously, but what makes us think that the Yankees are going to have the highest offer for Soto? If they are trying to get him on a discount, do you think Soto will take less money to be a Yankee?
I don't know. I don't have the answer for you on that. I don't. It depends what the discount is. I mean, the Yankees, all the Yankees, Yankee Stadium, Judge sitting there. That would be a very interesting debate after the baseball. I mean, remember, see if the Yankees win a World Series, that could have some effect on it too.
Could. Let me just say
which I don't think they will, by the way.
Yeah, well, I want to see if Jazz is helped. Without Jazz,
What's the story about him?
They don't know yet. I mean,
The doctors didn't say anything last night? We'll find out tonight when Boone talks to the media.
Yeah, he doesn't need surgery in all probability, but he's probably going to be out a couple of weeks, and then hopefully, they do need it.
And
but
Holmes in a big game is going to make you nervous.
He always says that.
I don't trust him.
You just said
I like Holmes, but he's going to make you nervous.
He worries you. You just said that the Yankees, the Yankees are the Yankees. I'm going to say this: if the Yankees don't come correct for Juan Soto at 25, and he goes to the Mets, the Yankees aren't the Yankees anymore.
It's a very tricky spot that he's in.
It's not tricky. No, it's not tricky.
He's going to pay him double what he's paying.
It's not tricky.
He's going to pay him double what
it's not tricky.
Double than Judge?
Yes.
Okay.
He's up. Judge was
so
up.
you want
2
to pay him
years ago.
double what Judge makes?
He's 25.
Okay.
He's going to get it, whether they want to pay him or not. That's what
Exactly.
he's going to get.
Somebody's going to give it to him.
But Soto's got to be careful because, Boris has taken a lot of players to wrong locations. A-Rod is a perfect example.
Yes.
So he's got to be a little careful of taking him to the Kansas City Royals because they offer him the most money.
Yeah.
And then Soto, he's having a career year. I know he's been great.
Oh, he's great.
Right, but
I'm not worried about him.
But is he going to do that same thing with the Mets where they don't have Judge
well,
behind
I
them?
understand, but he's a great hitter.
Taking those walks in a big spot.
He's a great hitter.
Yeah.
I understand your point. He's surrounded properly.
Doesn't need to be the guy with Judge. You could take a walk and still get driven in. On the Mets, let's say, you got to be that guy to swing the bat.
I understand, but he's not going to go out of that strike zone.
All right, he'll drive us nuts, though. BT, you going to ask him to sign?
I'm going to get him a picture. Hold on. No,
and I love the Jets to have a good year. And Ian wrote a good book on Rodgers.
You read it already?
I just got it yesterday.
I had him on Wednesday for an hour. I read it.
I'm looking forward to reading
Good
that.
book. The parental thing is interesting.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's 10 years.
I know.
It's very strange. But I'm telling you, I'm convinced he's going to have a big year. He's a chip-on-your-shoulder quarterback.
Yep.
And he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Don't you think, we were talking about this before, Reddick holding out or whatever, don't you think, though, what could separate the Jets from everybody else in the AFC is their defense? Like, their offense could be good. It's not going to be as good as the top teams, but their defense, they could be a top defensive team in the league.
They're going to a top defensive team anyway. The idea that Reddick's going to make them over the top, they got a good defense. I'm not worried about the Jet defense. To me, the whole story is he's coming off a bad injury. He's 40 years of age, and he didn't play that great as last year in Green Bay. So theoretically, you can say he's had 2 years where he hasn't done a lot. Mm-hmm. But I'm going to bet on a player, and I like their schedule.
Jet schedule out of shoots easy. Outside of San Francisco, you got Tennessee. You got some
Patriots
hangers
in Denver. Yeah. Those next 3 games.
Yes, correct.
I like the Jets schedule.
I do too.
I think they're going to have a good year.
One of the things that made you guys such a staple, you and Mike, is that you went through. I mean, so many different iterations of front office coaches, like all the different teams, and like your instincts were so not always right, but so many times
you try to get them right.
You were on point. Right now, you look at Shane and Dable, like that dynamic.
I think it's gonna be pretty good.
You think they're here in 3 years, 4 years?
I think
like
Dable's a good coach.
I do too.
And I think Shane, I don't blame him for Barkley.
Nope.
He made a good trade getting the kid from Carolina.
Burns.
Burns. He made a good trade with that.
What about the Daniel Jones contract they gave him?
He had no choice off a big game.
Yeah.
And Evan Neal, everybody loved him coming out of Alabama, so I got to give him a little break. He drafted him, right?
Yes.
I got to give him a little break with that. I think they have a good combination. And I think Mara, barring an absolute unmitigated 3-14 year, I'd be shocked if he doesn't bring him back.
I know, Doggy, you've taken...
And I think they'd be pretty good.
But
better.
Pretty good?
Better.
Okay.
I know you've taken your career to another level. You talked about it with First Take. How difficult was it to leave the fan and leave New York initially?
Hardest decision you ever make in your life. That's a hard call, boy. Yeah, it was a hard call. I probably wouldn't have done it if it wasn't for Mel Karmazin. I don't know if I would have done it if it wasn't for Howard over there. Not that I was a Howard listener prior. We do. But, Imus was gone at that point. But it's a very tough call. As it turns out, I think I made,
yes.
First couple of years were tough. I think it was good for Mike because Mike could show that he could do it. High ratings without me, and I needed a different challenge. So I think overall, we made, it was the proper decision for the both of us. And I'm telling you right now, I think it added to the intrigue. I think the fact that I left and Mike stayed, and people didn't even care about me those first 4 or 5 years. But when Mike and I got back together again, did the Radio City thing, I did some fan stuff with him when we got on the air together in 2009 at Yankee Stadium for a Yankee and Angel game.
We went to a playoff game together.
That's where you there?
Yeah,
CC pitched that day.
Yeah.
I think that really added to the mystique. So in a lot of ways, I think it added to it, and it's a funny kind of way. So I think if you ask Mike, he'd tell you the same thing.
But if it
was a good move at the time.
But if the relationship was better at the time, you wouldn't have left.
Probably wouldn't have left. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Well, we got a little stale.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have left.
Was there talk about splitting you up? You mornings, Mike afternoon. So it was either.
Well, there may have been a little bit of that because that was when Imus left, and they were trying to figure out what they were going to do.
Approached you with
it was the summer before that. And then they brought Craig and Boomer in September.
But weren't you?
So that was the summer of 2007 with Imus, was it not?
Right.
And I left in 2008.
But I thought you were interested in doing mornings, unless that was just a rumor. I thought you were kicking that around a little bit.
They didn't want to do that.
Okay, gotcha.
Now, if they thought that maybe that would have kept me there, maybe they would have thought of it. I'm not sure if my act would have worked in the morning, though.
Well,
because I would have done a straight sports show, and Craig and Boomer had a little different feel.
Yeah, they had a great show.
So I'm not sure if it would have worked. Because I would have probably tried to do it along the lines of the same thing.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it would have worked. I mean, I think all in all, it was the right move for me, and it was the right move for him.
Thank you, Doggy.
You got it, boys. You're the best.
Love you.
Thanks,
Chris Russo.